Namaste. Okay, let me just turn you around a little bit. Okay, Namaste. Okay, yes, as you can see from the, I look a little bit like Bridget and Karen with a Y over there. As you can see from the thumbnail, this is my Jenny Rivera requested video. Requested a while back by a few people, and one of the people was my Forever Bella Butterfly. So I wanted to do that for you guys today. Let me just light some nice sage. Okay, just burnt my finger. I just burnt my finger straight up. Ooh, yeah, it smells like burnt nail. Okay. Why the red wig, you might say? Well, maybe you don't say. Yeah, Kate. I think I'm Katie when I wear this wig. But I asked Jenny. I was trying to think about what she would want, and I had a blonde wig, but it wasn't long enough, and she said no. And then I said, I have long black wigs. Should I put that on? Because I'm not having a great hair day. I'm not having a great wig day. Anyway, she said, no, go with the red. Go with the red. I like the red. So I said, okay, Jenny, you got it. You got it. And I want to thank a special sub and friend, okay? DC. This came in the mail today, and I was so happy because not only did my vitamins finally come, they're like 5 or 6 days late, and I don't like that because I was starting to feel better from them, taking 3 vegetable, 3 fruit, and I called up so many times yesterday. I left them a scathing message. Anyway, I got my vitamins. I took 4 green and 4 pink because I haven't been on them for a couple of days. And I got this beautiful candle that has rose quartz crystals in there. Can you see that? I don't know if you could see it. Anyway, it is helps release anger. Am I angry? Resentment and pain. Oh yes, yes please. Check please, check please, check please. Okay. It's 100% soy wax, pure plant extract, and citronella essential oil. So I hope you could see the little stones in there, but I love it so much. Thank you so much, DC. It is so, I'm going to be using it. You also gave me this one, and I always use this. I always use this one, but I just don't want to set myself on fire right now because the wig, okay? I don't want to wig out. Anyhow, I am going to be serious. It's not that serious because it's Jenny Rivera. And so let's just take some cleansing breaths, okay? It's really hot here in Texas. When I say hot, it feels like 115. Plus, with the New York humidity. That's a new added thing. I don't remember this last year, the year before. Anyway, I just remember it being extremely hot. So just taking the dogs out, you can't even stand out there. You have to just let them out and bring them back in like 2 minutes later. Otherwise, they can get dehydrated. Anyhow, so I got my notes for Jenny. So I decided I'm going to do my notes first, and then I'm going to do my cards. I have 3 decks of cards. There's specific questions that people gave me in the email about Jenny, so I'm going to try to focus on those questions. All right? And so I just wanted to show you. I am doing my list. It is happening, okay? So those of you Geminis out there, I did not forget you. I never forget you. What's coming next is Virgo. A short little video on Virgo because I have you down. Okay. So I did Maya's location, all right? I did Britney Spears. I don't feel like people appreciated those two videos, okay? Anyhow, um, I'm doing Jenny now. I did the boys. See, I put the boys in front, okay? And I'm glad I did that. I felt appreciated by the boys. Yeah, I definitely felt that under this wig, it's even hotter, okay? The things I do for you, things I do for my people. Okay, so um, then on the next page, so I have one more to do on this page. Then on the next page, I have Miss Marilyn Monroe. I don't know why I said it that way. Okay, and we have Elvis. How you doing, darling? Okay, and then we have Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio. Okay, so I told you already, I finished with writing some messages for Virgo. It's in this book. Okay, got lots of books. Lots of books. Okay, I wish I would just keep my art orders in one book, but I have like 3 or 4 books going because whenever like a text comes in that they want to buy some of my artwork, which I am very happy and namaste, I just grab the book that's close to me. So I'm always working, and then sometimes I'm in the car, so whatever book I can write in the car. Yeah, it's hard. I gotta be the business manager. I gotta be the moderator. I gotta be the creator, the psychic, the channeler, the medium, all in one, and the artist, collagist. Okay, so, but I'll do it because I'm a Virgo Nation. Okay, so let's get on with the reading. All right. So first impressions, my cold reading of Miss Jenny Rivera. A very hard worker. She had her first child at 15, and the guy, I'm pretty sure, the guy was much older than her, like 21. I think he was 21. Anyhow, he's a real piece of work. But just like in a lot of early marriages, what you have is people cheating. He cheated on her a lot, and she kept taking him back. He beat her up. She would try to defend herself and kind of get a couple of swings in herself. But in the end, when she was pregnant with, I think, a second child, he beat her up so bad he punched her, hit her, smacked her to the floor, and then kicked her in the stomach when she was on the floor. Okay, that's what kind of guy he is. Gets worse. Okay, this is the first husband, which I don't think people should get married when they're 15, even if you're pregnant, because your mind is not developed, and what you want at 15, what you want at 19, isn't always what you're going to want at 20. Why is there a commercial already? Sorry. Okay. Not sure what that was about. Anyhow, so it's not what you're going to want at a later date. So, shouldn't do it. And if you do, end up pregnant, it would have been better if she just stayed with her family. But I think there was a thing that the family wanted her to kind of pay for. The mother put her stuff in a black garbage bag and said, "You have to leave. You go with the guy that knocked you up." And so, like, kind of trying to teach her a lesson. But the family did seem like they were very strong and very loving and would have taken her back anytime she wanted to come back. They would have taken her back. But she's a hard worker. She went to school pregnant. All right, but that's how much she wanted an education. So she went to school pregnant. High school. She finished her high school diploma, which is really a big deal when you're talking about going to school pregnant. You're embarrassed, but she just wanted an education because she knew in her heart that and also her mom used to always tell her, go to school, become a doctor or a lawyer, get something good, get a good degree, because she didn't want her daughter to go into the music business. She always felt that people would abuse you in the music business. When you get to be a certain age, you won't be treated right. So, it's a long story, so I'm gonna just give you a little synopsis. If you want to go watch it on Netflix, you can. It's not in English. The subtitles are going on. But you can definitely go watch it. I have not finished it. I have tried to finish it for weeks. Then I just heard, Katrina, do me anyway. Just do me. Just go. You're ready. Go. So I had my notes, and I said, okay, I will, because it's hanging on my head when I know that I want to do a reading on somebody. Okay, so she has the baby. She's only 15 when she has that baby. She does finish. She does finish her high school diploma. She moves in with the boyfriend, and her mother, like what would be her mother-in-law and sisters-in-law, are horrendously mean to her. I mean, they make her clean up everything in the house. They get mad at her for going to school. They do everything to try to make her not go to school, to get her high school diploma. Then she starts going to college. And so she does leave the baby, her daughter, Cheeky, with her mom a lot, thinking, that was a good option. But when her daughter, and she also has a sister that's only a few years older than her daughter, right? So her sister Rosie and her daughter were very close in age, so they would always like to play together, be together. So then when she started leaving to go to work, she also worked in a bank, she also worked in a real estate. She got her realtor's license, which is really, it's not that easy to do, but she studied while she's pregnant with the second daughter for that. And that she saw a picture, a vision. She didn't want to go in the music business because her father had made fun of her or was angry at her for messing up when she was 11, and she was so traumatized from that event that she never wanted to do it again. And he asked her over and over again. But she stayed away from it, but she would always write poems and songs, and she did try to kill herself and end up in an institution at one point. But for some reason, she wouldn't tell her mom that her husband was abusive, that he was beating her up, hitting her and stuff. She would always not say it because I guess she was afraid her father would maybe beat him up or whatnot, or she felt like she would look like a failure, like she failed, and she didn't want to fail. Because I believe she was the oldest. I think she was the oldest in the family. So, and then she has a whole bunch of brothers and one sister. So, when she would leave her daughter and her sister, who was a little girl too, in the care of her husband, he sexually abused them. Okay? He sexually abused her sister for years, from age, I believe it was 8 to 11. Okay? That's one. Then when finally the sister started to ask Cheeky if he was doing anything to her, because she just had a feeling, she had a gut feeling, she stayed away from him. And they went to the doctor, and they found out that not only was he sexually abusing Cheeky, but he was sexually abusing a little baby sister named Jackie. Okay? Since age probably before she was even 2. So, this man was on the lam. He was, Jenny tried to go after him She was separated at this time, but she felt very like a failure. She felt like I left my kids and my sister with this guy, this a-hole, and look what he did. This damage can't be, how could you ever fix that damage? So she went into like a depression, and he left and went running, so the cops couldn't find him for like 6 years. So he finally did go to jail. And how much time? 16 minutes. I know, you're probably saying, where's the reading? But you need a little bit of the background, because there's a couple of things that we're going to focus on. There were 3 husbands, okay? So they finally did, do I have a piece of paper? Yeah, so they finally did catch him. But there was a long, I don't like how that looks. There was a long time that their whole family was looking for him. Okay, in the interim of all this drama that's going on, she decides to go into singing, even though she's extremely adept and successful at selling houses. That was really her, forte. She really did not want to quit selling houses or working as a realtor part-time. She was able to afford her own house that she put in her daughter Chiki's name and her other daughter Jackie, even though they were kids. And she also had a son. She had 3 kids with the first husband, the first maniac husband, sexually abusing the children and her sister, and physical violence against her. And a couple of times it indicated that he raped her as well, his wife, when she was his wife and when she wasn't. Anyway, just terrible violence. It was really hard to watch at times. It was hard to watch. But if you're really a Jenni Rivera fan, I would suggest you go watch it. It's hard to get through it though, I'm telling you right now. Okay, anyway, my eyes get tired from it, and then it's usually really late at night because Devin doesn't like to watch that. Okay, so enter the second husband. So she's singing, she's going on tour, and she's not being treated right there. So her father was like, on one hand you look at him like an angel, like he's always putting her on a pedestal, always begging her to get in the music business and that he could do all these things. And then on the other hand, you see that he seems to be treating her like a cash cow, or he seems to be treating her like, go, 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 you got to do this, you got to do that. But she was going along with it. She was loving it. She was starting to see a little bit of success. I think she wanted to break into the United States. She was a Mexican music singer. I don't know the label of that, what that is called. I think very similar to Selena, but I could be wrong. But the father didn't want her to do that because everything was about, he came to this country and they had nothing, and how they, built everything up, but yet they always lived in the same house, which I don't understand that. Where'd all the money go if you're still living in the same house with like bars on the windows? It made me very annoyed, because like Jenni Rivera was selling houses, and probably I'm sure they could have moved into a different house. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got stuck on that. So yeah, Jenni finally buys a big, huge house. But before that happens, when she goes to a couple of gigs, she's not paid. They made fun of her. They would always call her fat. They would always say that she was fat. And the only reason why she was there is because of her father being a producer, a music producer, having his own company, a label. So that was one. She would witness them calling her names. Then she was, one guy said, okay, she goes, oh, I did the gig and everything. So, me and my brother are leaving to go home, I guess back to Mexico. So, we need our payment. And he goes, oh, you want me to pay you? you're gonna have to sleep with me. This old man, right? And so she goes, I think she smacked him in the face or something, and she left. No money. Never got any money for that. Then she goes to another one, and it seemed like a little bit, I'm not going to say drug cartel, but a little bit like involved with, because the guy is doing coke, and he's in this big mansion, and he has all these women, that something's going to happen with, and they're doing drugs and drinking. And then she comes in because she says, you didn't pay me and my brother. We're leaving to go back to Mexico. We did the service, and where's the money? So they get like, I think she smacks him in the face because he says, I think he propositions her, but basically he just says, you'll get the money another time, or, but we're not going to pay you. We're not paying you. So like she had a lot of hard issues that happened to her. And it was so sad because like she was trying so hard, and I mean she put herself through, finished high school, then she finished college, then she got her she worked in a bank, and she's good with numbers. She was able to get that the license for her, I'm sorry, the music's making me sleepy. The license to become a realtor. Okay, I almost said house seller, and that would have been bad. Okay, all right. So she's did all these things. Now she's in the music business, and she has her own songs that she was like writing in a notebook that looked kind of like this since she was like 15 or before. When she went into the psych ward, when she tried to kill herself, she wrote a lot of stuff down then. So some of her songs are from when she was had a nervous breakdown and tried to kill herself at around 17, I think it was. Abusive relationships, bad marriages, and different things like that. Another end to the story is that her father, who she put on a pedestal as well, because she was always like the princess, she sees that he's unfaithful to the mother. So the mother turned a blind eye to it a little bit, and then when the mother starts to really perk up and say, this is not right, you shouldn't be cheating on me, you shouldn't be, I do everything for you, I run the business, I run the home, I brought in all these kids to our family, and this is how you treat me. And it usually would be the person that was the singer, that would have the label. Yeah, so she didn't really get that much support from Jenny. Jenny would either say, oh, Daddy didn't do that, or she would just say, Mom, just forgive him, like, don't break up the family. And I was kind of surprised at that because she sings so many strong songs and she went through it. So why would she want her mom to go through it? But that shows you how the family was so entwined with their career, and their livelihood was with the father. And the mother, didn't hold the power. And Jenny would purport herself as being tough, a tough girl, do what you want, stick up for yourself, don't take the BS. But yet, when people cheated on her, she went back with them. She forgave them or just went back with them. When her boyfriend and then husband, the first husband, was beating on her over and over again, even after she was pregnant and on the floor, she just said there better be nothing wrong with this baby. And that baby he ended up abusing as well, sexually. But she still went back with him. Like, she got very weak. And I think to myself, is it because the mom, as an example, didn't show a strong foundation of her, like she would hear her crying, and then sometimes a little fighting. But the mom, in other words, ate it. She ate it throughout the years. And maybe that affected her to say, oh, okay, this is what women do. Oh, okay, this is what women have to put up with. Okay, not to sound too much like a therapy session, but I did sound like a therapy session. Okay, so I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody. I think out of everybody, her mother truly loved her, and her sister, and her brothers were really awesome too. The brothers wanted to beat up the first husband after they found out what happened, or if they even thought that he was beating on her, which they found out. They found out one of them witnessed it, or one of them came in and saw it, and they put a beating on him a couple of times. But it didn't stop her from taking him back, and therefore the abuse continued with her sister for from 9, 10, 11, 4 years of her life. And then later on she gets into drugs and things like that because she just can't get over the abuse. It just affects you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So it's just like a hard road. And then she seems like a very good mother, but I guess it's hard because I think the kids didn't see her that much. So then enter the second husband. Finally, after she hears about the abuse, she never gets back with him again, of course, and she's looking for him to get him in jail. And I think he did get 20 years in jail. I think he's still in jail, but ironically, the two daughters speak to him on one of the shows. So I guess that's up to them. They forgave him, and they speak to him. I don't know if they see him, but I don't know. It's just, it's okay if you want to forgive somebody, because when you forgive somebody, that's for you. That's for you. It's not even really for them. Okay, so we need some Palo Santo up in this bitch. Okay, Jenny agrees. Okay, so enter the second husband. The second husband is I don't know the names. I have everything written down, so I guess I'm just gonna read my notes now and then get into the reading. Yeah, this Palo Santo stick is not great. Okay, so I'll just put that there. Okay, so alright. So Jenny Rivera, her real name was Dolores, and then her middle name was Janie, like Janie, like Janney. I think that's how it's spelled. But when she started to get a little popular and her father was pushing her to go into the music business, she said, "Can my album have, my CD have Jenny spelled?" Excuse me. I tasted like hot dogs, and I didn't even have a hot dog in about a month or 2 months. Anyhow, just ignore me. What did I have? Pizza with olives and onions. So maybe that was an olive. Okay, I didn't need to tell you that. Just ignore me. Alright, so she wanted to spell it Jenni, and the father said, "Of course, sweetheart, you can do what you want." So that's how she came about Jenny, because she thought it was cute, and it is cute, and like it's sexier and fun, more fun than Dolores. No offense or shade on Dolores. If Dolores is out there, no shade. Even when people try to shade Karens, okay, I don't like that, because Karen is like similar to Kathy. So like I don't want to shade the Karens, especially if you spell it with a Y, Karyn. Then you're cool. Okay. Anyhow, all right. So just ignore me. All right. So July 2nd, 1969, Miss Dolores Jenny Rivera was born. She's a Cancer. She's a water sign. So I probably should bring over my water deck. That's okay. All right. So what does that mean? She's emotional. It means that she's, matches with the water signs, which are Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Okay? So, yeah. So she's born 2 days before the 4th of July. Okay. So Jenny was looked at as the workhorse, even though her brother, Lupe, I think Lupe or Lupido, they called him Lupe for short, he was a singer first. He was, he got into the music business. When Jenny didn't want to go into it, she was busy with her family, with her realtor's license, selling houses, doing all that at a very ripe old age of 21. She had a lot of stuff done, okay, including babies. Anyhow, they looked at her as the cash cow for the family, right? She was the workhorse, and she worked more than anything or anybody, I would say. August 6th, which I didn't know this, is Jenny Rivera Day. Okay, so that's coming up. And my friend, Forever Bella Butterfly, and she has her own YouTube channel. And on her YouTube channel, she did a thing, I think it was Jenny Rivera was alive. She did a thing where she went to go see Jenny coming out of a building and singing, and she has a video of it. So go over to her, after you watch this, go over to her video and go over to her channel and give her some love on her Jenny Rivera video. If I can ask her for the link, I'll try to post the link. I am not good at that, but I'll try to post it on my page as well. Anyhow, so there was a younger guy. Okay, so I forgot to, I'm skipping a lot of points. How many pages do I have here? Nerd alert. Okay, let me just get into the second husband and the third husband. Yes, she was married 3 times, and she was only, I think, 43 years young when she died. Yes. Okay.